This is Mission Control Houston. You're looking at the inside of the International Space Station Flight Control Room. This is one of 3 that we'll be using throughout the flight of Dragon today. The team's here of Orbit 2, led by Flight Director Zeb Scoville, winding down for the day after overseeing some of the pre-launch and launch activities and some of the initial burns of the flight of Dragon on its way to the International Space Station. We'll be conducting a handover here shortly with the teams over in the blue Flight Control Room. That's one of the 3 that we'll be using. The other one's the white Flight Control Room. It'll be Flight Director Rebecca Wingfield over there leading the teams on some of the overnight shift while Bob and Doug are asleep. Chris Cassidy aboard the International Space Station, already entering his sleep period, getting a full night's rest before waking up and starting to prep the International Space Station for the arrival of Bob and Doug. A lot of that work already completed from some of the pre-work done even for the first launch attempt on May 27th, checking out some of the monitoring tools and the communications hardware that needs to be used and checked out prior to the launch of Bob and Doug. A lot of that work done. Today, Saturday, the main task of Chris Cassidy was cleaning the space station, and of course, he's got the rooms prepped for Bob and Doug upon their arrival. We're now entering into a media event. We'll be able to see some views from inside the Dragon. Bob and Doug aboard the Dragon vehicle, just finishing up their meal. They're shifting a little bit from what Chris Cassidy has experienced in terms of their sleep schedule aboard the International Space Station, but they'll be all synced up when they arrive at just about 9:30 a.m. Central Time tomorrow. Again, teams here winding down. Flight Director Zeb Scoville's Orbit 2 team will be handing over shortly to Rebecca Wingfield over in the blue Flight Control Room. Until then, we'll toss it back over to Hawthorne to take us through the media event coming up here shortly.
Thanks for that update from Houston, Gary. We're very much looking forward to getting our first glimpse inside of our Crew Dragon capsule from the perspective of Bob and Doug. In case you're just joining us, we've had a spectacular day, an on-time liftoff, given the fact that we were once again iffy on the weather. Just seeing the blue sky come out in force upon liftoff was quite a sight. And just real quick, I'll check the clock here. Yeah, we've just passed the T+.
Oh, I think we just lost your audio, Kate. I think your mic pack might have just died. But as she was just saying, and we'll make sure she can keep saying in just a couple of minutes, we had that on-time liftoff, 3:22 p.m. Eastern Time from Pad 39A, the Falcon 9 rocket delivering Bob and Doug to their initial orbit. We haven't been tracking any issues with Dragon since they arrived in outer space. We've already completed 2 of our burns so far, 2 of 5 that are going to be responsible for getting us to the International Space Station. We did that phase burn just a few hours ago, that wrapping up at 1:16 p.m. over here on the West Coast. And then Bob and Doug also did the manual flight test, so at the controls of Dragon for the very first time, and they were able to complete that test objective successfully, putting it into a special orientation known as LVLH, or local vertical local